You're listening to Made of More with Laura O'Donoghue, proudly sponsored by Empower Fitness Carlow. Train with world-class coaches and join classes built for lifelong results. Get stronger, feel better, be empowered. Find us on Instagram at Empower Fitness Carlow.
Hi, it's Laura O'Donoghue and welcome back to Made of More. If you're tuning in for the first time, this podcast is all about strength we discover when life doesn't exactly go to plan. Each week, I chat with people who have taken their struggles and turned them into something stronger. This season of Made of More is sponsored by Empower Fitness Carlow. Train world-class coaches and join classes built for lifelong results. Get stronger, feel better, be empowered. Find them on Instagram at Empower Fitness Carlow. So, let's dive in. This is Made of More. Today's guest is someone who grew up shy, fearful, and lacking confidence. Alcohol became a way to feel brave, and that confidence helped fuel success in business, but at a heavy cost. In the last few years, Mccann has chosen sobriety. He now runs FAB Boxing, using boxing to support people in addiction recovery, and delivers an addiction awareness program in a Dublin school in Finglas, working directly with teenagers. This conversation is about confidence, addiction, recovery, and what real strength actually looks like. Aaron, welcome to my lovely couch. How are you?
Yes, well, thank you.
You got here eventually and finally.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a bit of a journey now.
Bit of a journey in the lovely back roads of Carlow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I was so excited for this conversation because we had Mark on our second episode, and he is just so amazing, and his story is so amazing. He was talking about you quite a bit during it. Obviously, I can see why, but I want to hear your side of it. You're coming from a different side than Mark was coming from. So I really wanted to hear your story. So before alcohol, business, boxing, who were you as a young lad?
Yeah, so mine, like I said, completely different to Mark's.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better family.
Okay.
So when I say mum, dad, my dad always looked out for me. My mum is one of the strongest people I've ever met. I've an Irish twin brother, basically. So I always had someone there to look up to, and my sister is my hero as well, right? So
I love that.
It's great, yeah. Like on paper, I should have never been an alcoholic, right? And it took me a while to figure out why I was, and it's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing, right? So it was something that happened to me when I was a kid, right? So I was about, let's say, 14. So up until I was 14, all into sports, loved it. Always got along with the lads quite well. But then when I became 14, women became involved.
The teenager years are just very hard, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. So shyness was my first, I call it a trauma, but my first emotion that I felt that I didn't know how to deal with, right? So I was afraid to talk to girls. I was afraid to go into large groups because I was quite shy. And a friend of mine gave me a magic potion, right? And that magic potion was vodka, right? He gave me a nagging of vodka, and all of a sudden I was walking around. Different person. Completely different person. I was at the fun. I was exciting. People wanted me there when they were drinking, when we were having the crack. But the problem was I never sat in my stink and figured out how to deal with that emotion, basically the shyness and the fear. And that kind of led into fear over 15, 16, 17, 18, right? So then all of a sudden anger was starting to come in. I was starting to get sad because people weren't understanding me as a kid. And what did I do? I'd find that magical potion again. So I never sat in my stink, and I never learned how to deal with any of my emotions. So it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
They're hard to sit and deal with your emotions, though. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, it is. I know you mentioned FAB Boxing, and I'm not going to spend this whole thing talking about FAB Boxing. I'm going to tell you my story.
We have loads
of time, yeah. But that's what I want to do with it, is to get to the 14-year-olds and just tell them it's okay. Like, you're supposed to be shy. Do you know what I mean? You're between now and you being 14, between 0 and 14, you're in nappies for half your life there. You're
still a kid.
You're still a kid, right? And you're expected then to, when you're 14, to be able to figure it all out. Now, I always use the example. You ever see the American kid TV shows, and they say sober, and they go up and they ask the girl to a prom? Do you ever see them? And I remember screaming at the TV, "What a loser! Oh, he's a loser." Do you know what I mean? But realistically, I never did that. So he probably went back the second time, and he went up and he said, he went up the first time, he was shy. She said no, probably. But he went back the second time, not drinking, and she said no, but he's a little bit more confident. And then he went back the third time, and all of a sudden he's like Casanova. You know what I mean? He's Casanova then. Whereas I didn't do that, right? So I just drank every time, so I was real shy, and then all of a sudden I'd have that drink, and I'd be like, ba 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 ba. I start chatting to them.
And like that's being scared of confidence kind of just went then. Like
it just went out the window.
Your confidence.
It went out the window, but I couldn't remember a thing. So even to this day, up until I got sober, I wasn't able to talk to anybody sober, right? So I wasn't like, I was actually afraid. If I looked up and I seen someone catch eye contact with me, in my brain I'd be like, Jesus, they think you're a freak. What are you looking at them for? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I get real. I'd be worried about what they're thinking, what I'm wearing,
other people's opinions.
Just other people's opinions. Yeah. So.
And was that from like a young age, or just when you became to your teens? Like, what were you like as a kid?
So kid-wise, just football. I played every sport you could think of. So I was always trying to find myself. I always feel like my soul is a little bit older than.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my soul was always a little bit older. So I always wanted deep conversations. I always asked why. So that was a big one. Why? I was always curious of the world, and I always asked why. But I was always told to stop asking why. Do you know what I mean? Shut up and stand in the corner and be quiet.
That's the way things were, though.
That's the way things were, yeah. So it was always like, stop. Like I remember even being in school, when I was asking questions to the teachers, they were telling me to be quiet, and that I was a bold kid, and that I had all these things, and I should be. It was that, and also I didn't know what ADHD was at the time, but. Every time a rabbit ran by the door as well, or by the window, I was gone. Yeah. Gone as well. So like, I wanted it so hard. I wanted to be good so much. I wanted to be smart. I wanted to be successful. But everything was just against me. It was like school wasn't made for me. I didn't like shallow conversations. So I was real bad at small talk. So I didn't like talking about football and I know kids and all, and they knew every football player and all, and I just didn't care. You know what I mean? I wanted to get deep with someone, and I wanted someone who I could.
That is so cool to hear, though. That it was like you wanted to get someone on an emotional level more than just talking about daily things.
Exactly. I hated it. I was real bad at it. So I'm like my uncles and all. I don't know if they're ever going to listen to this or not, but they're born and bred.
Let's hope they do, uncles.
I hope so. Yeah, but they're Darndale Coolock, right? They're born with the lads like fast, quick kind of stuff. And I remember always being real quiet and sitting back and being like, if you say something, like you're not quick enough. Do you know what I mean?
Where did you grow up?
So Donamead originally. Donamead, but my grandparents are from Coolock and my uncles and all, so we kind of spent a lot of time around that area. Yeah. And then we moved down to Wexford, as you know, Wexago.
Wexago.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, childhood was just lost. Hadn't got a clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
Always knew something just didn't feel right. All the time when I was hanging out with friends, I was.
Did you feel like you didn't fit in, or was it like
you
felt different?
Tried too hard. I think I tried too hard all the time, and then people kind of started to see that it wasn't real, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I would, just lost. I think I didn't understand. So that's what I meant when I was saying with FAB Boxing. I just wanted to be somebody who's able to go to somebody when they're 13, 14. And be able to say to them, just calm down. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to figure this thing out straight away at 14, 15. In fact, enjoy being uncomfortable, enjoy being awkward while you have the time now when you're young.
You're not an adult.
You're not an adult.
Enjoy them years.
Exactly, yeah. So that is exactly, and that's exactly why we did FAB Boxing in the schools. That was the
well, it's the schools. That's where you have to go as a kid. So getting into the schools that's an extremely important part.
Yeah.
And it's learning from the people that went through it. That's the most important part.
Exactly.
So you're doing that in Finglas.
Yeah, well, we did it. So we've done our 6-week course there now, right?
So 6 weeks.
Yeah. So it's a 6-week course, and we will be doing it in more. We just took a break over Christmas.
Okay.
But yeah, so when we went in there, so we dealt with the 7 deadly sins when we do that, right? So. We talked about being a people pleaser and stuff like that as well, and not caring what other people think. But I always find that that's really easy when you don't care about people's opinion when you don't like them. It's fine. But how do you not be a people pleaser to the people that you do like anymore? If that makes sense.
That's hard.
That is the hardest part. Like your parents, your brother, your sister, your friends, like just saying yes to everybody all the time. That was the one thing that I always struggled with, and that's where the 7 deadly sins came from. I needed to write down what I believed was a good person, right? So I needed to write down and say, for me to be a good person, I need to not be lustful. I need to not be wrathful. I need to not be greedy. I need to not be gluttonous. I need to not be slothful, right? So when I realized that if I followed this trend of not being any of these 7 deadly sins that I had, if somebody, like for example there, if me and you were having a conversation or an argument, and I said to you, and I tried to give out to you or give you abuse, and I said, you're a microphone. You laughed, you did, right? Right?
Point proven.
Point proven, right? But in the exact same tone of voice, if I turned around to you and I said, you're an asshole.
Bang.
Yeah, you'd react differently, right? So
Yeah.
why would you react differently to the microphone as you would to me calling you an asshole
know.
when I said it in the same tone of voice? And it's usually because it's deep down inside you, right? So you need to figure out what it takes for you to believe that you are a good person.
And you're
right?
not an asshole.
And you're not an asshole. And that's it. And then you become the microphone. Because you do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the microphone and the asshole doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make you
No.
feel any bad. And the way for me to do that was I needed to know in my mind that I was following. Because and my girlfriend, at the moment, Katie, we just had
Hello,
a baby.
Katie.
Katie, yeah,
You
she's
just had a
wonderful.
baby. How many days ago?
He's 4 days ago. So
4
it's quite
days
new.
old.
Yeah, he's right.
AJ is his name. He's
AJ,
so
little Aaron,
beautiful.
yeah. Aaron's
Congratulations to you both.
Thanks very much, yeah. But sometimes, like, even we have things where, like, I'll go out and I'll do something and I'll go to this, like, I'll do everything that I believe is good enough, and she'll keep asking sometimes for a little bit more, and I have to say no then. But I used to never be able to say no because I'd feel like I was letting them down. But I need to know at this point now, okay, I am sound. Do you know what I mean?
And you have to do it for yourself too.
Exactly, yeah.
Look
So
after yourself.
I've done all the things that I believe that I can do. And anything more, I'm basically putting my life on in a negative kind of point to please somebody.
Someone else. Yeah.
Now we have this argument all the time. We go back and forward, and I love her. She's the coolest thing in the world, and she's the reason I am sober today as well, right? Because she believes in me.
The love.
Like, you've seen my videos, like, there's nothing but girls in it,
Yeah.
right? So you can only imagine she has to trust me 1,000,000%. But
It's not, but she doesn't see it in that way, and that's the main thing, and that's the most important thing.
exactly, yeah, because like lustfulness in there, right? If I ever was to go back to be lustful, it was hell for me, right?
Okay.
It's called the 7 deadly sins. If I was to go back to being greedy, so when you're greedy, when you have €10,000, you want 20,000. When you have a Ferrari, you want a Lamborghini. So there's no end to the.
Never stops. The
Never
cycle
stops,
never stops. Yeah.
So if I ever went back into being any one of them, I would go back into hell, right? So I would go back. So that's how I know that if I follow this path, I will be a good person, and I will know it deep down inside myself.
That's so cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've never heard it described like that before.
Well, so I do. So I look into. I know I'm not going to get into religion or anything, and this isn't a religious course or anything like that. But when you look at the ancient texts, right? So if you look at Christianity and Buddhism, right? Two of them are probably the biggest ones out there. One of them is come back to me every week, sit in the confession box, tell me the stuff that you've done this week, and go home and give yourself 5 Hail Marys, and all of a sudden you're forgiven.
That's what we grew up on. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you've got the other one, which is Buddhism, which is like live every day as if it's a brand new day. Right? So you have to go out there, you have to make every mistake that you can for a week, is what I think, right? So make all the mistakes that you can, fail, and then at the end of the week, forgive yourself, say 5 Hail Marys, because that's realistically all you're doing to the priest is saying
Your prayers.
out loud. So why can't you just do that in your own mind? So go out there, completely make of it.
Pause.
Go completely go out there and make a boss of
Yeah.
it. So we actually say this in the boxing class. Don't come to me again unless you have an embarrassing story. So that's one of
I
our.
love this.
Yeah.
This is what we need to broadcast.
Exactly, yeah. So don't come to me again unless you have an embarrassing story. And the reason we say that is you went out and you tried.
Yeah.
And second of all, who wants somebody who's boring? We want to hear your funny stories. We want to see you have the crack,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
so it's something, and then obviously Buddhism. So this is what I was talking about by losing my train of
This is
thought there.
okay. Let the conversation flow.
Yeah.
So alcohol. How did alcohol change how you spoke, acted? What did it do for the confidence that you didn't have before? Can you describe what it was?
Yeah, I can, right? So I actually have the perfect way to describe it, right? So just close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, you're standing on the edge of a cliff
Oh Lord.
and it's freezing cold water underneath you, right? Mm-hmm. So jump.
No.
No. So you jump off and
Right.
just before you hit that freezing cold water, freeze.
Okay.
Feel it?
Yeah.
That tensed up,
Yeah.
like just...
That was mad. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay there. That's
Okay.
it. That's the anxiety and the depression that I used to feel like that, like tensed up anxious.
crazy.
Yeah, so that feeling of just about to hit that cold water, when you just go, whoa, everything just tensed up, your body just starts to, but you never hit the water, right?
But that puts so much stress on your muscles and everything. As
Everything.
in, like, your body would be wrecked feeling that.
I used to have heart palpitations all the time. I used to, like my mind, my mind would just go absolutely wild. It would be almost like it would go dry. Is the only way I can describe it. And it was just pure anxiety, depression, and I just didn't understand it because, like I said, I didn't like the shallow conversations, but I didn't fit in with anybody then, if that makes sense, because everybody wanted to talk about football or they wanted to talk about
that you didn't want to talk about with it. So what do you talk about?
exactly, yeah. So when I walked into a room, let's say there was 100 people in a room, I'd want 100 people to like me. And that's just impossible. It's like walking in.
That just sounds like me because I hate when someone doesn't like me. That's freaking life, isn't it?
Exactly. But now when I walk into a room, I expect 99 of them not to like me.
Not to like you, yeah.
Yeah, because when I went in, so when I walk in, so you get, for example, except for Noah, the Ark, but imagine you were to put a penguin in with an elephant and a tiger and a thing like that. What would happen?
It wouldn't last very long.
It wouldn't last very long. They just wouldn't get along, right? So why, if I like rap music and you like dance music and you like rock music, we're not all supposed to get along? But we're supposed to be able to be okay
Diverse.
with that.
Yeah,
like you be you and I'll be me and maybe we'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? So rather than me going in and going, what do you like, rugby? And I'd be like, I like rugby, right?
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, a month later, they'd be like, do you see the rugby game? And I'd be like, what rugby game?
What rugby game?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Do you not follow rugby?
Yeah. But I do that with everybody. Like I was like a social butterfly. I could walk into any room and I'm a salesperson as well. So that kind of went into the...
I can kind of get that from you, yeah. You're well able to talk. I love that.
Yeah, so I was able to just adapt to anybody, and I didn't, like, half of the things I would say wasn't true. So, and what would happen is 2 or 3 months down the line, they would see it that I was faking. Do you see what I mean? And they would just be, and then I would be like, oh, why don't they like me anymore? So I try harder then, and then
it just makes it more obvious.
And then you know what that's like when you see someone trying too hard and you just don't want to.
And it's like borrowing the confidence, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. Like when I say when AJ was born. Like I keep saying, it's good to be present for him. Like I could have had a kid at any time, but I wouldn't have been present. Like I am
you wouldn't
now.
have been so grounded either.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Like I remember when he opened his eyes for the first time, and I looked into them, and it was like I just went into another universe.
Oh, but I'm not able. That's so cute.
I know. Yeah. So I went into another universe, and that moment there came from because if I wasn't an alcoholic, I think I'd be more unhappy. So that's why I say everything that happened in my past was meant to happen for a reason, because I would have still had the greed, right? So I still would have had, even if I had, like, I have this lovely family at home, but I probably would have been out working 15 hours a day because I was mad ambitious. And when he came and asked me to come play football with him, I would have told him to go away. Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, whereas now, because I am an alcoholic, I appreciate things now, right? So like an embrace of a friend or a walk on the beach or like just being present in a lot of the moments that you're...
So you kind of think if that had kept going, you would never have
I would have never
present.
known. I know for a fact. I would have always wanted people's approval. I would have always been angry because I would have been misunderstood. I would have always been lustful, so I would have wanted everybody's approval. I would have been envious. So I remember always looking at other people's stuff and always being like, oh,
why can't I have that?
Yeah, he's an arsehole. Yeah, he's driving that nice car over there.
Yeah, automatically just call him an asshole.
Oh, automatically. Back then I did, but now I'm like, yeah, buddy, how'd you
Fair
get
play. How'd you get that?
How'd you get that?
I ain't trying to give me a lend.
But there's two sides to that as well, because like the ones in the nice cars usually are not happy.
I always say this to my daughter: you could be still depressed in a mansion.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Well, look at Justin Bieber.
It does not matter what money you have. It doesn't matter about like material
Robbie
things.
Williams, or not Robbie, Robin. What was his name?
Robin Williams.
Like there, so there's so many out there, and that's the thing. Like it's the journey. It's not the destination. I will never get to the destination because I'll get bored. So I can only it's all about the journey to get to it there now, because I would get bored if I let's say a couple of million comes in of a nice house.
Ring me if that happens.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Do another one. But if it did, it would get boring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine you got that off the bat first swing. There's a million. There's a house. There's a car. Like you'd end up on drugs.
You wouldn't
100%.
appreciate any of it, would you?
Yeah, because you'd just be like, right, well, I made it now, so I've nothing to kind of aim for, nothing to achieve now anymore.
Yeah.
So like I always just keep when they get to the top of the mountain, I look for a bigger mountain. Always trying to like get to the next one.
Different. Always have a goal.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what I'm trying to get to the people, to my clients, would you call them? My friends.
Yeah.
I call them friends. They are my friends.
Family. They're like family.
Family,
They're
right?
family.
But that's what I say to them. Like, they're all stressed out about, like, this is the moment that they're going to remember, the hard times. Like, this is what I talk about with everybody, to give them the advice that I give them, because how could I give them the advice if I didn't go through the experience already? And I wouldn't be as happy as I am today if I didn't have all of them bad things that are happening. So you really do, you just have to enjoy every moment of it.
You do, and you have to stop and appreciate it.
And appreciate it, yeah. So, like, sometimes, like, because I know they're not doing it, so when they get home from the class, because they're endorphins and the dopamine and stuff,
they're so happy
they're
and
so
flying
happy. I have to text them and be like, are you sitting in this now? Are you sitting in this? Like, and they're like,
you feeling this feeling?
Yeah, because it's like ecstasy. Because
Yeah.
you've got dopamine, you've got endorphins, you've got, like, everything. You're
It's like me when I teach class. I'm like,
buzzing. Yeah.
Can't go to sleep. Can't go to sleep. Want to go dancing.
Exactly, yeah. And it's, I remember,
it's crazy, isn't it? It's a great feeling, though.
I remember Mark sent me a video and I was like, what? After the class. Oh man, that's a deadly video you're after making. But then I woke up the next day and I wanted to watch it again. And I was like, what's that? So it wasn't the same video because there was something going on in my brain, right?
Yes.
So I love this saying as well. Depression and anxiety can't hit a moving target.
No, cannot. No.
Can't hit a moving target, right? So if you are like, and you're finding that you are anxious and you are depressed, walk, run, jog, punch, kick, scream, do whatever it is that you have to do.
That gets so much stress out of you.
Yeah.
Punching especially.
Exactly, yeah.
You're just like, that's what I always say to people, and dancing is the best. That's all I do. What do you do for a job? I dance in a room, roaring at people.
And that was a big one for me, because you asked what was I like as a kid. Shy was the main one, was the biggest one. Like, for me to dance, I would need to have it like a 70 CL of vodka. And if I didn't, I used to be this cool pride. Like, I used to always be like, oh no, I don't dance. Like,
I'm too cool to dance.
I'm too cool to dance style thing. And what a loser. Like, if anything, you got to dance. Like, yeah.
Have to dance.
You have to dance, man. You got to dance, you got to box, you got to have fun, you got to laugh, you got to be silly with yourself. You've got to...
That's life. That's what like living is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your parents back then how did they notice when you started drinking, like, as a teen?
No,
so you were 14.
No. So the first one, so it was, so a lot of guards, a lot of trouble. So
from alcohol.
Yeah. So I just, like, I was always a protective person. So, like, when I ever got in a fight, it was always, like, I went down to Wexford and they, like, I'm a dub and they don't like dubs. It was 10 people.
That was a lot back then, wasn't
all
it?
of that was mad,
was.
yeah. Now, like, I'm still, like, all the lads I used to fight with now, I'm friends with now.
Yeah, it's crazy now when you grow up.
Yeah. And, but, yeah, so what was it? So my mum and dad, so, like, I had guards in my house all the time. They thought I was going to die. I actually had to pay $2.5 grand to a gangster in, I won't say a name, but because I broke one of his toy soldiers' jaw and his teeth and stuff like that. So
you got in a fair share of trouble.
Got in a fair set of trouble, and my dad had to get involved in that as well, and there was a load of stuff going on.
How did that feel back then when that, like, your
horrible
dad
because
get involved in
it was horrible because I had to go to my nanny the next day, and she bawled
the
her
nanny is
eyes
always
out.
hard to do that.
Yeah, she bawled her eyes out, and that was hard. That was very hard. I think that was the last fight I was ever in on the streets.
That woke you?
That woke me up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a big one, to see her cry, because she was always the one, like, cookies and, you know what I mean, my little...
your nanny's your nanny.
Yeah, nanny's your nanny, yeah, she's a little sweetheart and all. So when I went in, obviously my dad, like, he's helped me out so many situations, even when I was in England. He got me back because he seen that I was going down, like, I was drinking, actually... Yeah, I'll get into that. So yeah, he came and he got me and he said, "Here, listen, you got to stay. You go back over there. Something bad's gonna happen." Like, so.
He kind of had the intuition.
He knew, yeah, and I don't know if I thanked him enough for that, but yeah, no, it's been more.
You did thank him. You're sitting here with the person you are today. So sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's all down to him. Well, it's all down to everybody that's been around me. My mum as well. She's great.
Having that family support though is. And people don't have that family support, and that breaks my heart too.
Yeah. So that's kind of where Mark is kind of different to I am, isn't it?
Yeah, like, your stories are so different, but the way you came together, you can understand.
Yeah. He's
that's crazy.
Yeah. I know he said a lot about me, so I better say something nice about him.
Mark is a legend. I know you'll be listening to this, so you're an absolute legend.
Yeah, he is. So I used to always look up at, like, Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury and all, like, their comebacks. And then I hear
Tyson
Mark.
Fury was just
what a sicko, right? And then he came back, he's just sitting there with a beer, and then he just turns around and goes, "I'm going to become the heavyweight champion in the world again." Like, that was already impressive to me. But then to go and hear Mark's story where he was like 20 years homeless, like heroin is a death sentence to most people that touch it, right? So to go from that and stabbed and set on fire and
I was just so shocked that someone could have that life.
to have that life and to be able to come back and he's just a legend. Like he's a cool guy.
He is the best talker ever,
yeah.
and like such a sad story, but what an inspirational story as well.
Yeah.
When you were in business, let's go back to that a little bit, because you were successful enough in business when you started.
Well, yeah, I was. So I just spent it all though. So it was.
Yeah.
So when I was 20, and I actually think that there should be something out there for this. I was 20 years old and the general manager of a restaurant that was doing like 1.5 million euro a year, right? So like that's too much burden for a 20-year-old. That should have never happened in my opinion.
You don't have that experience at 20.
No,
to
because I
handle
wanted
that.
to be everybody's friend and I also wanted to be successful, and them two things don't really work, right? Because you need people to do their job, and if you're trying to be their friend and you want it deep inside that you're sick over it.
Yeah.
Like I was sick over wanting to be their friend, so like I was drinking like bottles of wine at 9 o'clock in the morning and then driving down.
What?
Yeah, and then driving down to work just because I was so anxious of like whether it was going to be the area manager was going to have something to say again, because they were so negative. It was a horrible PLC company where they were just bottom line, so they
Everything
were
was
chopping
business,
they were
yeah.
chopping, and they were expecting me, like I was basically a glorified buster, because I had to send so many people home that I had to run around and do all the cleaning, right? But I also had to manage 40-year-old head chefs, 50-year-old
20 years of age.
20-year-old or for 50-year-old waitresses that, like, you know how they can be sometimes a little,
course,
they want their tips, right?
Yeah.
So I had to do everything to adapt to them and stuff like that, and it just was such a burden on me, like, and I tried to go out and make friends, and the more I went out to try and make friends, because I was in England at the time, it just kept
going again, yeah.
just kept going against me, yeah. So it was, yeah, successful wise, I would say, like, I did well. I was quite good at sales. So I always travelled around quite a lot doing it. But then I went over to Canada.
You travelled a lot.
Yeah. I did in the back of a van as well.
Oh, even better.
I went from Vancouver Island to Quebec.
Wow.
In the back of a Honda Odyssey with a Husky.
What a situation to be in.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's such a random thing.
I know. So I landed on a ski season. So I was doing a ski season up there, and I was managing the bar up there, and I thought it'd be a great idea. Again, mad, couldn't make friends, needed a dog.
And drinking constantly.
Drinking constantly, just horrible. I needed a dog. I woke up with a hangover one day, and I went and I got a dog. And then I woke
That's
up.
definitely not a thing to do.
No, definitely not. And in a tiny little apartment, I wasn't allowed to hang out with the staff because they were in staff accommodation. I had to be the manager, so I got my own little place. So I said, I'll get a dog that'll keep me company. But then COVID kicked in, so I had nowhere to go with the dog. So there's me and the dog in the back of a Honda Odyssey travelling around Canada.
Sorry for laughing.
No, that was the best.
I just had a vision in my head.
I know, but it was the best because I went knocking on farm doors because I needed somewhere to stay, and some lady with a horse tax
Someone
shed.
that was so shy that all this, I know I obviously had alcohol to help, but that's crazy.
To be able to, so I just went knocking on all the farm doors, and this lady was like, I have a horse shed, and because all the Australians have gone home because of COVID, I've nobody to feed my horses and bang in my fences.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be, right? So I moved in to there and got to do all the Yellowstone stuff, banging in all the fences.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And but then the dog ate his way through the door. So that was us gone. See you later.
Goddamn dog.
I know, back on the road again. So, so
after that, then what did you do? So that was Canada?
So that was Canada. So after Canada, I started hanging out with I don't know, Hell's Angels, kind of style people.
How did that come about?
It's just
another
Irish,
mad.
being Irish.
Yeah. Well,
So I walked into a bar, met this fella called Rusty.
Rusty?
Yeah. Now I don't know if it was Hell's Angels, but he was some sort of bad biker gang. I didn't really get into it too much, but started hanging out with these. But then it started going into 3-day benders and stuff like that, and then. Things were just.
Did you know you were hanging around with the wrong people?
Yeah, well, but it was, like I said, Charlie Sheen kind of lifestyle. It was
fun.
It was fun. Yeah, was it fun? It was what I thought was fun at the time.
Yeah,
it was good. I remember they were taking handguns out and all because they had this new guy that was coming over to them and all. And we were just fixing.
Beef.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like a dope. But after that, I never went back again.
That is just the randomest thing that happened. Oh my God.
That's what I mean. There's so much because I like there was just one, like every day was just something different. So I always wanted to top the next thing. I always loved telling my stories. I said the lads, get back to the lads and tell them, oh, I did this and I did that and blah blah blah. But that's just a people pleasing thing again.
And it was it for sure?
Yeah, putting myself in there, dancing monkey. I was a dancing monkey is the only way for me to describe it. It is,
you have the funniest sayings here, Stephen. Oh my God.
It was so like I was always invited to the party but never the wedding.
You were always like the fun person to have at that party.
Bring Aaron up there. He'll rock up there with that. He'll be hanging out at the chandelier.
Mad to go.
We'll laugh at him. Yeah, but then they'd all have to crack on the Friday. But they'd go home and they'd chill out on the Friday. But I'd go out with the second group on the Saturday, and then I'd go out with the third group on the Sunday, and then it'd be Monday and I'd be hungover, and then I'd be
depression after all that.
Horrible.
When you stopped though, that must have been
horrible.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. Like I felt like I always talk to Mark about it, like his come downs and stuff like that. And obviously his might have been worse. But like they were bad. Like I mean, like pumping sweat for like
shakes, probably
shakes. My heart would just skip beats all the time. My brain I remember like obviously the night before you'd be like, I'm gonna take over the world and I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be
brilliant.
that. And then the next day I couldn't open. I remember being at my house and I couldn't put the key into the door to open it. So I went from being I'm the man to
you're not the man very quickly.
I'm a loser. Like 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 this is getting bad. I need to stop. Like. So, that's...
So in business then, obviously, you liked money.
Yeah, always liked money.
Everyone loves money, but you liked it a little bit too much, did you?
Yeah. I don't know if it was the money. It was more I wanted to be the boss.
Big boss.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I wanted my friend to say, I used to know that guy. I mean, I used to go to school with that guy. That was always my thing. I always wanted
He's such a cool guy.
Yeah,
I know him.
Oh, I used to sit beside him, even though they probably didn't. Do you know what I mean? They were 3 years younger. Do you ever hear that? Like, people are always like, oh, yeah, I went to school with Ricky Hatton, or I went to, do you know what I mean? And you probably walk past him on the street.
All the Americans are Irish.
Yeah. So it was that. I always wanted that, like, I knew that guy, or like, I wanted to be...
That cool guy.
Yeah, basically, It had nothing to do with the money. Money was fun tokens to me. That was just like having the crack.
You obviously didn't like have much value on it though.
I never had much value on anything. So I lost everything, like my watches, my phones, my necklaces, I never cared what I looked like. I always like even some of my friends, they'd be slagging me, and they like shorts, t-shirt. I know. Simon Cowell was always my idol on that one. Like
holy God.
White t-shirt, black jeans.
Oh, we're done.
Have that 7 days a week.
I didn't think Simon Cowell was going to come into this podcast whatsoever.
No, well, there you go. There he is, popping up everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you went Canada. Where did you go after that?
So it went Dublin, Wexford, back to Dublin for university. Actually, that's one that I could probably get into there. That's quite a big part of the story because it was so easy for me to have friends when I was in secondary school.
Okay.
I kind of had a cool, like it was almost like because I had a cool group and a good bunch of lads, I never had to try to make a friend.
I had them.
Yeah. And then when I went to university, I didn't understand how to make new friends, especially university friends, because they were artistic and they were
more grown up when you're.
And they're more grown up, but I wasn't. So I was just going up with like being shy when I'm sober, but then I had to get really drunk for them to.
And did you get messy drunk like
all the time?
Could you control that?
No, couldn't, not at all. No, not at all. Like I couldn't remember. Like I remember one time I was walking back through DCU. And I picked up one of them like outside bar umbrellas, like the beer garden umbrellas.
Big golf ones.
And
or the bigger ones.
The bigger one. And I remember just waking up in this tiny little apartment and it was fully open in my sitting room, just up in the sky, and I was like, where the did that come from? Yeah, like that kind of shit.
Some people bring home pizza, that's normal, but I don't think bringing home
garden. That, I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible, but like it was always something where like I said, invited to the party, not the wedding. You wouldn't bring me. You wouldn't bring me to meet your family. Do you know what I mean? Like I would do something ridiculous. I'd hang out at the chandelier. Or
couldn't trust you.
Couldn't trust me. Always like trying to make the story fun. Always trying to make everything fun. But it was just pure like me. Do you know what I mean? Like me.
Yeah, and that's that's very exhausting, isn't it? That is mentally, that's extremely exhausting, because on the outside to other people you're like, oh, he has it all together, and on the inside you only have it together because of
the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
When did you kind of realise that, right, this is a big problem?
It got to the point, I don't like saying this, but I was never suicidal, but I wouldn't have minded dying.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're trying to say. It wasn't that if you were suicidal in your head, but you were so unhappy with who you were.
Yeah.
But knowing you were someone, I have a sense that you knew you were made for more though.
That was what it was, yeah. So I always say that I have an older soul than
Made of
I
more. We had to get that in there, but
made of more,
it is, though.
yeah. So there's things that like my middle name is Maximus, like for example.
Woo!
Right? So Aaron,
What a very strong middle name.
I write, but 10 years old.
Maximus is not the best.
No, but like I mean, like the teachers and all came up to me and like they were like, "Oh, pick Luke, John, pick a Baptist-y kind of name." But like I already had that kind of like no.
You wanted that name, and that was it.
So then when like I always like my mom was always like, just get a bus job. Do you know what I mean? Like just be. And she always wanted me to be safe and secure with money and stuff like that. But I always knew deep down inside that I would have never been happy that way. I always wanted that little bit more. I always wanted to.
Was it succeed? Is the word
succeed? Yeah. But it was that success that I'm talking that I thought I wanted back then was just all of them 7 deadly sins. But now it's just pure. When you wake up to something, when you wake up to all of this, like I think it's hard to explain to people. It's like almost like when do you ever have a chocolate cake?
Oh, plenty.
And you have someone sitting beside you and you try and get them to taste, you're like, here, taste the cake, but they won't taste it.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to explain to them the taste of it. And then you get angry then because you're like, oh, taste it, but they won't. Or have you ever seen Bruce Almighty when he's like, he's God, he becomes God and he's like, blah, 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 when he's trying to talk, right? Yep. So it gets so frustrating. So I know my purpose now is it's just to help people. It's just to help them to figure it out because I can't explain it again. Like I said, I'm trying to explain it the best that I can. But it was like a divine intervention one day where it just clicked with me. So like I didn't have any of these sins anymore. Like it just and then so I didn't have any of these sins anymore. And I needed to show people how to get to that point because I knew how painful it was.
That's a massive pointer. You felt the pain.
Yeah, so I couldn't look at anybody in that pain anymore. So like we're a PLC company, we're not a charity, but the reason is not PLC because I'm telling you now, I will still drive the same car and I will still wear these same clothes no matter what happens with this FAB Boxing because if I ever let greed back in,
well, you feel like you're becoming that person.
I'll go to hell. Like it was hell for me. Like it was absolute hell. I will never let any of them creep back in. I do
like the way you're putting that though, because I'm sure many people listening will be like, yeah, I never really thought of it that way. And like so many people want to have good lives that are caught up in drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever that is. They do want to be okay. And they do want to feel like I can be the same person with the substance, but you can't.
No.
Because you have to heal the person, unfortunately. That's a big part of recovery, obviously, is your healing.
Yeah, so with our recovery, so one thing I want to say as well, I like the word recovery, but I don't like the word anonymous. I don't think that people that are giving up alcohol and drugs should ever feel bad about the situation that they're in. I don't think they should ever be anonymous. I don't think they should ever hide in a corner and do that kind of stuff because everybody out there is doing it. You just decided not to do it anymore. You just decided that you wanted to be better, right? So, you just decided that you wanted to be better. So, sorry, could you just ask that? Did you
actually go to any AA meetings at the start?
Oh, sorry. So, I'm just going to finish this quickly first, right? So, when I was giving up drinking, I always said, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to give up coffee and I'm going to give up smoking and I'm going to give up drinking and I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then the first domino would fall, right? So the coffee and then it'd be a smoke and then it'd be a drink and then it'd be the next thing and the next thing. So the one thing that I did was I made my bed. And the reason that worked was because I promised myself so many things over the last 34 years that I didn't follow through with, that I needed to believe in my mind again. So you just pick one thing, do one thing great. Or for 30 days.
Keeps you consistency.
No, it's not consistency. It's just to trust yourself again. Because if you're saying, I'm going to give up this and I'm going to give up that and I'm going to give up this and blah, 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 and then you just keep knocking over dominoes for that many years, you don't believe in yourself. So you just have to do one, like you get all the people in January and they're going on nutritionist diets and they're doing this and they're doing that, but they've never done any of this stuff before.
They're doing it all together.
Yeah, my thing would be go for a 5K walk before you start jumping into the nutritious. And that's the same with alcohol. So if you decide when you're giving up the drink, if you go and you try and give up everything and you want everything really fast, it's like juggling. You're going to drop all of the balls at the same time. But if you just start off with one, make your bed. Jesus, I can do this. I'm making my bed, right? And then
you realise you can do it.
Exactly. And then it's like the second month, then you're like, okay, I can make my bed. Maybe I can go to the gym as well. Or maybe I can do that 5K walk. So now you're making your bed and you're doing the 5K walk. And then the third month, then you're like, okay, I'm making my bed. I'm going for the walk. Maybe I can join the gym. And then all of a sudden you get this power and it's just like, I can do anything. Because I've stuck to them 3 things for them 3 months. And now you believe in yourself again because you're not dropping the dominoes anymore, and then it goes forward. So, what was the question you asked? And I kind of stopped you there.
Sorry, did you ever go to any AA meetings?
Yeah. So
at the start?
and my recovery is completely different to everybody's, and AA and CA and stuff like that are great. I started off in Canada and I went to one for about 3 months and then I relapsed. So I went on it, right. So
what made you relapse? Sorry.
So yeah, I wasn't really fixing anything. They were just they were coming back time and time again, same kind of group, and I was finding that they were complaining. Like, I wanted to thrive, not just survive. So I didn't want to just go there and then have to go there every night at 8 o'clock and just feel sorry for myself all the time. And this is what I mean. I wanted a gap stop. So when you're in addiction and you're with all your friends that are drinking and they're doing whatever they're doing, right, and you want to get to a certain point, it's so hard to leave all of them because they're your people. But you're not here yet. You're not that responsible, law-abiding citizen. Yeah. And that, again, I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but FAB Boxing, and that was what we built. It was a gap stop. So that you can come here and you can feel safe to figure out what you are there and what you want to become here, and then you find that in the middle here with a bunch of mad things, with a bunch of misfits in the middle.
You find it with people that have lived through it.
Yeah. So we call them misfits because like we all were misfits along our lives. Like we all. So you started off here, because I remember all the time, like, oh lads, let's go for a hike, and they'd be like, "See this fella? Wants to go for a hike,
yeah.
And then I'd be like, fair enough. Then I'll go to the pub then, and that would just happen constantly over and over and over again. But I wasn't able to hang out with the people that were going on the hikes because I couldn't talk.
You weren't there yet.
I wasn't there yet. So you need that space in the middle. Now that might be AA, that might be CA, that might be FAB Boxing, that might be a running group, that might be something. But you have to find
something.
A gap stop. Yeah, you have to find something to get you out of your, because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, like insanity.
Well, it's never going to work.
It's never going to work, right? So if you have to do something, you have to go and you have to find something that gets you away from what you're doing at that point. And that, if that means sit in a room, I did it for 90 days. Sorry, the second one, when I came back to Ireland, I did it for 90 days. And that was one of the promises I said I would do, make my bed. And I went to AA for 90 days. But after that, I didn't go back because you
were at a level with yourself, I'm imagining.
Yeah, but I'm not recommending that to anyone because 90 days is probably not going to be enough. Like, I done this a few times and I failed a few times and I hit such a rock bottom. Like I said, I didn't want to kill myself, but if
we were feeling, not that you were feeling that way, but you weren't upset if that happened.
If it happened, like I was kind of hoping, like not hoping, but like, if it happened to happen,
take the pain.
Exactly, yeah, take the pain away. So I'm not saying to anybody only go in for 90 days. If it takes you a year, if it takes you 2 years, until you build that confidence up. And like I said, I can't go back because that is hell to me, right? So that if I can't go back to that, and I know that because all the drink will do to me now is give me a hangover. Because I dance. I don't need a drink, I dance.
Just about to say, like, what's your confidence like now without?
Unstoppable. Because
isn't that amazing?
Unstoppable. There's literally but it's not only just with, like, I don't care if I walk into a room and nobody likes me. I'll still be loud and I'll still dance and I'll still make people uncomfortable because, like,
you are who you are.
I am. I have to be because I have to be like that because otherwise it will kill me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, oh, he's doing that because da-da-da. It will kill me if I go back to people pleasing again, if I go back to that kind of life again. So I have to go in and I just have to say the first thing that comes to my mind, not be offensive. So you have to keep it in line for me. Like, you can't just go in and say everything you want to say because then most of the time when you get someone, I say whatever I want to say.
You're an asshole,
they're saying mean things all the time. So you have to have a set guideline. Okay. And mine are the sins, right? So I'm not going to go in and I'm not going to be wrathful to someone. I'm not gonna be any of them. Glut. I'm not gonna try and stand on somebody to get over them to make more money. I'm not gonna be any of these 7 deadly sins, which means that I have to be sound, right? So if I just keep going, I have to keep going in and I have to keep being sound. But that's the thing. Not everybody's gonna like me for that because people don't like people who are sound because
it's very hard to wrap your head around, isn't it?
Yeah, because they wanna like talk about like, do you see what she's wearing?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
know, yeah.
Stay at his runners. Who cares?
Couldn't give an absolute shite, to be quite honest with you. Sorry for the cursing, but I couldn't care.
Yeah.
As I said, material things do not matter. What you have does not matter.
Absolutely zero to me now.
It's the person that you are that's what matters.
Yeah, and your energy. Your
energy
is massive. Like, I'm now stopping people in park. Actually, I made friends in the hospital when the baby was being born. So I'm just walking around talking to people.
Aaron's making friends with everyone.
Yeah. And luckily enough, I found someone who was in recovery again. Now he's coming down to the boxing, right? So these are things
paths are always meant to cross.
Exactly. If you remember what I said at the start, like this is my mind, right? When I was back in, like, literally, like, I'd walk up and I'd be like that, and I'd catch somebody's eyes and I'd smile, and they wouldn't smile back, and I'd be like, he didn't smile at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
what's wrong with him?
And then then a million different things would start going through my mind. And now I'm like, if he doesn't smile, like, I'm almost like, hey. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want them
you
to.
all right?
To make them happy. I want to cheer them up, like, so.
No, I love that.
Yeah. So it's.
What was the first few days like? That must have been torture. Like, no drink.
Yeah.
How many days was it that you were really bad?
See, there's so many times that it happened because like I said, I relapsed quite a lot. So I wanted it bad, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to do it. Like, because I wanted it so bad. But what else could I do? I never had a gap stop. I never had somewhere where I could go and have fun. I could go somewhere and sit there and drink tea and have a cigarette. Yeah. But, like, is this it? Is this life? Do you know what I mean?
There's more to life than that.
I didn't have anything. I didn't have a gap stop to go, and just horrible. I don't know if you've ever felt this kind of. It's just, I can't. It's so hard. It's the chocolate cake again, right? Because it's so hard to explain. But it's like this.
People listening might feel that,
exactly.
Understand what that feels like.
They do know. I know they do. But it's like your heart is squeezed and your brain is just anxious about everything. It's paranoid. Yeah, like massively paranoid, massively shaky. Like, I was sweating. I remember coming back on the plane from Canada because it did get bad in Canada, and I came back on the plane and I woke up soaking wet, but, like, you know that smell of rotten?
Yeah.
Like, as in my skin was rotten. Yeah. Like, it was starting to
just come out through you.
Yeah, but like, I mean rotten. Like that.
Really?
Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, it was starting to, like, it was getting real bad, and like the shakes. It was that. Remember I said jumping off the cliff as well. So it was that, like, just pure. My body was tensed up. Like, my muscles were getting real, like, tight and all. Like, it was rough.
Isn't it crazy that, like, I always will say this, that alcohol is just so accessible?
It's stupid. It's crazy to me that is a thing. Yeah.
Like, just so many things illegal, but that should be one of them, because it can be a destroyer of families. It can be, not that the people want to. The majority of people don't. That's an addiction. But it's just awful, isn't it? It just breaks my heart.
It is absolutely awful, and it's not going to change, I would say, anytime soon. So what I would say to that one, and this is what we're trying to get to the kids, is just wait. As in, don't numb your brain now when you're learning everything, because that is the age that you're supposed to learn how to deal with your emotions.
Yeah, and you're a sponge as well at that age.
And if you drown that, and if you put that sedation on your brain at that time when you're supposed to, you're going to go into your next quarter of your life and you're going to be so lost, because you're a puppy. Like I said, we always say you have 4 quarters in your life, like when we go into the skills. So either if you have a really good first quarter, you are more than likely not going to have a good second quarter. And because if you have a good first quarter, you're usually popular, you're usually having a crack, so you're not really studying, you're not really listening to your parents, you're probably sneaking out, you're probably doing that kind of stuff. So that's all fine when you're a puppy, but when you start to grow up and become a fully grown adult,
you have to be an adult.
You've got to be an adult, and them things don't
go together, do they?
They don't go together. So, but if you start off and you have a really bad first experience, so we always say, like, if you have one good quarter, that's what most people have. If you have 2, you're good, and if you have 2, you're great. So all of these kids can still be great, because if they have a bad first quarter, they can learn from the first quarter and they can enjoy the next 3, which means that they can be great, right? They can learn how to deal with bullies. They can learn how to deal with their emotions while they're there. And then when they move in, usually if you have a bad first quarter, you're probably a bit of a book geek, right? Usually they kind of something like that.
Yeah.
So usually when you move into the second quarter, it's probably going to be better for you now, because now this is your college time. This is why they always say, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're good in school, it's usually one or the other, right?
Yeah,
but I don't believe that. I believe that there's 4 of them, right? So if you have a bad first quarter, the second one you've learned from it, you go into university, you find out there's people who are in arts, and then you do well in your second and your third one, right? But it's the ones that do well, that have fun in the first quarter. It's the second quarter is probably the hardest. Now, you can wallow and you can complain and you can moan about your teacher didn't do this and your parents didn't do that, and everybody starts blaming people. Then they start using excuses. Or you can just go, right, that was a bit of crack there now in the first one, or that was a bad experience. I'm going to look back at that now, start going to PLC courses, because it's probably too late at this point. This is when we're doing LCAs. So we're starting to do PLC courses. We're starting to do, you can be the best gardener in the world, start a business that way. If it's makeup that you like, you can do makeup. If it's like, you can do anything.
So much opportunities.
So much opportunity. So don't give up on the first quarter. Never give up on the first quarter. But yeah, I 100% believe that the alcohol, like the accessibility of it's one on every corner. There's like the way that they're advertising it, the way that like kids are getting better now, though. I think they're getting a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't
wise.
think. But is it gone to more drugs though than it is
Well,
drink?
the drugs
though,
are,
you know, because you have two sides of that, don't you?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, society now scares me a little bit. And like, this whole podcast is to help people that's struggling, to help parents that have teenagers that, you know, maybe are off the rails a little bit, to have a family member that maybe is an alcoholic or something happened. These are the people that need the help and understanding. And if people are going to take the time to put that work into themselves, support is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
What you have around you is the most important. This is why FAB Boxing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about FAB Boxing, right? Because I think it's one of the most amazing things. And if anyone is listening, please look it up. Look into it, see them amazing, happy, dancing faces, and to even feel the sense of, I don't know what it is. The first time I seen it, it kind of caught my breath, and I was like, this is life. This is what real life is. So FAB Boxing, we're after talking about it a little bit going through, but I want to know more about how it started, how you and Mark actually met each other. How the hell did that happen? So let's start there. Let's start with how you met Mark.
So Mark, just being Mark, the genuine, beautiful guy that he is. So I went down to a beach. It was another running group called Rise Above It. So we went down there,
awesome.
and I started running for one day. And then
one day run.
Calf gone, right? So my calf went. So I'm sitting there.
Oh my God.
So I'm probably sitting there.
I thought you were joking there with the calf.
No, the calf went. So I'm sitting there with the bottom lip out, probably like thinking, I'm at the drinking my Monster and everything. Like I was ready for that 5K run. Like, you know what I mean?
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there. I'm only a kilometre in, and the calf went. Right? So and then Mark, I think this is what happened. Anyway, I kind of forget. But Mark came over and he put his arm around me and he goes, "Let's go boxing. Like, do you want to do pads?"
Oh my God, I'm not able. That is the cutest.
Yeah. And then he just, as I was doing it, he just went, "Have you seen like the smile on you, man?" And I just went, because this is what I mean by not.
I get that, you see.
Yeah. Not living in the moment.
Yeah.
I wasn't. That moment I was feeling there, it was amazing, but I didn't know it until Mark made me realise it. Do you know what I mean? Mark made me go, "Do you see that smile?" And then I went, "Oh, hang on a minute."
Yeah, but you were so meant to meet.
I know. Cool guy, big fan. And
he was just holding pads for you.
He was just holding pads. We were banging them, and then I went the week after, and then one day I rang him up and I was like, "I have this great idea, man. We got to do this." And it was basically, it was all based around the fact that we were going to do 5 classes, give one to somebody in recovery. So that we could go around and we could get someone else to pay it forward. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So do you ever go to McDonald's and someone buys you Coke and they pay it forward? That, So we wanted to go to the likes of big companies and we wanted them to buy them for their staff because of mental health and stuff like that. But every time that it helped their staff, it would help somebody in recovery. So rather than going, "Poor me, can we have money?" Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We wanted to go out and find it ourselves, right? We wanted to make it ourselves.
Do the hard work,
do the hard work, and then get people to and to help people, because we just didn't have money. Like me and Mark,
who has anymore?
I don't know, but we were in addiction, right? So neither one of us had a
shilling.
A shilling, pot
of piss in, as yes.
So we scraped up about €500, and we went to Catalan, like cheapest stuff you could buy. Yeah. And we got pads and we got gloves, and we went down to the beach, and people just started coming in, and we just kept getting. It was the stories behind it that made us keep going. So it was the times when we were getting a text off of them after, and they were like, "Listen, man, like you don't know how much you've saved me there. Like I needed that, and the group was great, and that kind of stuff. Like that kind of stuff is what."
That was actually a question I wanted to ask you. Like, did you have moments where people were like, "Oh Oh my God, that was so unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not as like that. It's so something like it's hard, right? So like we haven't got a clue what we're doing. There's days that I just
I love this. You haven't a clue what we're doing.
Yeah, but it's working, right? So there's days that I just want to throw it all and just say, screw this all, like. But then it's always like a divine intervention again.
Oh, of course,
that message always comes as soon as I go, I don't want to do this anymore. One person from the group texts me and says, Aaron, that class today, what you said at the end of that class has like, I was in such a bad mood, I was depressed and things were not going well, and you just that class was just brilliant. And then all of a sudden then I'm like, right, I'm back. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what
you fill yourself with that excitement again.
And that's all
it
takes, yeah. And they're the ones that I do it for. So that's basically what I think I mentioned it before. I needed somewhere where I could thrive, not just survive. So I needed somewhere where I could go from being an alcoholic to being a lot, like, as in a success.
Just even being a human being.
Just being a human, like being able to survive without drink. Like just that alone. Like
not having that crutch anymore.
Not having that crutch. But how do you do that? Go from here to get to there without anything in the middle. So that's what I wanted, was that thing in the middle.
They're missing. This is what they are missing. They're missing that. If you want to, give up your addiction and you want to be like sober, where is it from your decision? Yes, you have like all your meetings and everything, but where are you getting to release that anxiousness in your body?
Yeah.
Or even mentally, you will feel so much better after walking away from even dancing, boxing. I think that needs to be pushed so much, because it's like using your body, the one that you have.
Yeah.
And you're more proud of that body then when you're kind of training it and you're going to classes like that, and even like seeing all them happy faces just make everything worthwhile, don't they? I love seeing that.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, it's got, like, you got to do fun things as well. Like,
well,
so
you have to do fun things. Yeah.
So eventually then it just keeps rolling. Like, I'm a dreamer, so I just keep coming up with these mad ideas, and I wait for someone to go, yeah, that's a good idea. And then
we should do that.
Yeah, and then we did. So we did it. So we did a camping trip, we did a hiking trip, we climbed up in the dark as well, and we went over Leopardstown Stadium because we were all broke. We didn't want to pay to see the drones, right? So we all stood on the top of the Sugarloaf.
You were hearing it first here.
Yeah. So we all stood on the top of the Sugarloaf, right? It was the windiest day. It was the coldest day. We had a bunch of kids with us and all as well. And we just lit this fire in the cold, blah, blah. And all of a sudden we couldn't see the drones, right? They were too low. So we're all standing up there, 11 o'clock at night, freezing cold. And the kids kept moaning, and I was like, you have no idea. You're going to tell this story when you're 18, 19, 20 years of age. But that mother got to bring her kid with her, hang out with a bunch of, like, you know what I mean? Have fun.
They were in the moment.
No phone.
No phone. I was just about to say no phone.
No phone. No, and not even because we say no phone. They just don't come out.
Good.
So that camping trip we went on, it was 2 nights, and every single person came to me because we had a little lake beside us. We had a little paddleboard.
I'm going on this next camping trip.
Yeah,
please invite me.
It was down in Loughree, and then we went down to this mad water park and all as well. But like, that would keep me sober. I know that would keep me sober, because that's all I wanted was someone. Yeah. And when you talk to them, like I love them all, right? Because like I said, don't come to us unless you have an embarrassing story. So they tell me everything, right? So
love that.
So you know what I mean? So
but they can be themselves straight away.
Yeah. And then I tell them everything, because I always did that. I always made it more awkward, so that someone could feel that they could be awkward. Do you know what I mean? So
I'd be more embarrassing than you. You're telling me embarrassing story.
Yeah. I'll top that. I'll top that. You want to play this game?
Yeah.
You want to play this game? Let's go. It's just, like I said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I enjoyed it and I needed it. Yeah. So if I enjoyed it and I needed it, and I was in that situation, it's got, everybody needs it. That
to feel like that.
To feel like that. Not this, but have something that they can have fun with, and just, you need little wins. Little wins.
That's what I mean. You need to be a little bit crazy every now and again.
Exactly, a little crazy, but the little win. I'm gonna go back to that again. To make your bed, the little tiny win. Just get one. And then build, and then build, and then build, and then build, and then eventually you will become unstoppable. Because someone, like at this point now, realistically, if I wanted to be a doctor, I can't see a path where I couldn't get there.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a hard place to get in your life.
I know, and that's genuine, right? So
I'm even jealous here.
Yeah,
give me some tips here.
It is, and that's it. It's just start off. So if you say, for example, you're going to do something, like, and make it small, and then build on it. Like, so make your bed, go to the AA meeting for 90 days. That's the minimum they say. Now go to that AA meeting, but I don't get stuck there, I'd say.
Find who you are.
Find who you are, yeah. Keep going to something different. Or if you're going to one AA meeting, go to a different one down the road. Or go to there's other things. It can't just be AA. It just can't. I love
That's
it.
because it's just been, that's all that I would have grown up with.
Yeah.
As in, if you would have heard of anything like that, AA was...
Yeah.
There was nothing else.
No. And I wouldn't have been out. Like, I'd be back on the drink now, I'd say, if it was just that. But like, I'm very thankful for them, and I wouldn't have made it to first 90 days without them.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. You have to start piling wins on top of your.
To feel stronger, you have to do that.
Because if you white knuckle it, you're the sober. Like I said, if I didn't drink and if I wasn't an alcoholic, I would still be an alcoholic in my brain. If that makes sense, because it's not. It's the solution. It's not the problem. Like, alcohol is the solution. It's not the problem, right? So I'd still have all of that like madness in my mind, but I just. Yeah, so if you go to AA, you don't have something else to get rid of it.
You feel like you should have just something that you can own yourself.
Exactly, yeah. You need something that little wins. I cannot say it enough.
Little wins.
Nothing major. So January, screw up, like whatever you have written down in your notebooks, and you're gonna do a new diet, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that, and you're gonna do that. Like, and I'm afraid of saying scrap it, but scrap it.
Yeah, scrap it.
Get rid of it unless you're used to following through with things that you say you're going to do. If you're a person like me who has a restless mind and you have an addiction and you're used to not hitting the targets that you used to, just start with a walk. Start with everyone. Start with a bottle.
I think that's great advice.
Just one thing. Just one simple thing that you can build on.
Yeah, and make that building block quite strong.
Exactly, yeah. Foundation versus trying to build something on sand or trying to build it on mud, yeah. So
what is your future plans then? Tell me what is in store for FAB. What would you like to achieve? Because I really think that you should be in way more schools than the one you're in.
we will. We'll get there, yeah. So I have something cool cooking.
Oh, he's cooking.
I have something cool cooking. I'm not sure whether I should say it or not yet, but I won't actually. Because,
no, call back the suspense.
I'll let you know when that one goes ahead, but I'm really excited about that one.
But you obviously want success, and you obviously, as in for the club, for FAB Boxing, you wanted to succeed because it's such an amazing story behind it.
Exactly, yeah.
Isn't it?
So I'm torn between, because like it's such a scalable business as well, right? So all we needed was that €500, which is Decathlon. And then we could pull up in a park somewhere and we can just do it. Do it. We can do it anywhere in the country. So it's such a scalable business that we're doing that like there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a success. My thing is though, I want to stay in my spot. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I'm.
You can stay in your spot, but you can.
I know I can branch out as well, but I do. Like I said, this if you keep seeking more, that becomes a problem again, because now I have to go back into, like, I got out of this matrix, let's say, that's what a lot of people are calling it.
Yeah.
But then but now I'm stepping back in knowing what it is, if that makes sense.
It's different though.
But I know it's different, way different. But now I know that I'm doing it, which isn't as bad, but I still have to play the game. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So I still have to get people to like me, because if they don't like me, then they're not going to come to the class.
Excuse me, but they're liking you for you now.
Yeah.
Not the person that was false and fake because of alcohol.
Yeah. So
they like you for you.
But it is, so that's what I mean. I'm very cautious of I found my piece.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose it. So I'd be very cautious. So I'll sit in this one for a long, like I won't just go, right, bam, 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 money.
Yeah,
I'll make sure the right people are in this one. And then when the right people are in this one, then I'll probably say Mark first. Over. yeah.
We're done.
No. No, I'll go over first and I'll suss out.
But it's exciting, isn't it? And it's exciting to see where it will go.
Yeah.
Because it should go very far.
Oh, it has to, yeah.
I've good feels about it.
Yeah, it is a cool place. Like,
there needs to be so much more of it. And I just really hope not that it's taken off for you as it is, but I hope it's more widely known of.
Yeah.
Where are you based?
Finglas now.
Finglas now.
But we're mobile. So businesses, we can go into businesses. We do mental health ceremony.
You're on Instagram, and it's FAB Boxing, isn't it?
FAB
That's
Boxing,
how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah. So FAB Boxing, yeah. So businesses can contact us, like, because I'm a salesperson as well. So especially if
I think they've got that by now, because God, you're well able to speak.
Yeah. So Murphy's Law. So I was doing sales one time, and I remember being so annoyed because I missed the bus, right? And then I kicked the edge of the bed, and then I'd get in there, and one person would annoy me in the morning, and my whole day would be ruined, right?
Because you let it.
Because I let it, yeah. But it's Murphy's Law, right? You're not God, right? You're gonna kick a bed, you're gonna miss a bus, and you're gonna have a bad call, right? That's just daily stuff.
It's not staying on it though, isn't it?
It's not staying on it, yeah. So if you can get in there and you can get that mindset into people that, like the burnt toast theory, if something goes wrong, you probably missed a bad crash. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the way I think. If I'm ever
Yeah.
late, I never panic anymore. I sit there and I look at the birds and I look out at the grass and the daisies and the
It's
flowers.
redirecting your brain
Redirecting
from
it.
not thinking of a negative to just bring you back to the actual present.
Yeah, 100.
And it does make that shift
And
in your
everybody
head.
can do it now. You're gonna think I'm mad, but I have.
I think you're mad as
no,
it
no,
is.
no.
I'm only messing.
With this one, I am. But I genuinely have categorized the thought, the voices in my mind now. So this
Are they
is,
named?
They're not named yet. They're not named
We
yet.
should give them a name.
But if I was to say to you, for example, do you want a Mars bar or a Snickers?
Yeah,
What do?
I'd bought them.
You'd have to vote them. Yeah. You'll have two of them. But what do? Your brain goes, I want a Mars bar has that.
Yeah, which
creamy-"
would I like more?
Yeah, so everybody
Yeah.
can do it. Everybody can get their brain to rewire.
Of course they can.
Exactly. So all they have to do, God, I don't want to get into religion and stuff like that, but God, you are God. You in your mind, you are the one that makes the decision on how you react to that. So like I said, the microphone versus the asshole, right?
Yep.
If you know deep down inside yourself that you're a good person,
Yep.
then nobody can ever change that. So you just have to rewire. Now it's a daily process that you have
You
to
have
keep,
to do it every day.
you have-
I'm actually doing it myself.
yeah, you've got to keep catching it. You've
Yeah.
got to keep rewiring it. You've got to go, what are you doing, buddy? You're at that stuff again. You're doing that negative thinking again.
Yeah.
Bring that back into that positive thinking again. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easier. But just keep going.
That's life though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
That's life, yeah.
But we learn from it all. Aaron, this has been such an amazing chat. I actually sit here and talk forever. I'm sure Mark has warned you about my little game that I play
Okay.
to wrap things up. It's called a little segment, Then, Now and Always. Music. But you love this because you love music.
Yeah.
I just want to hear 3 of your favourite songs. So we're going to bring it back to then when you were a kid, right? To now, to what will your always and forever tune be?
Right, so you're...
Think about this one now.
I will, right? And this is what I mean by depth. These are not going to be ones that I think you would ever have got.
You
right?
never know.
So I loved 21 Questions by 50 Cent when I was a kid.
21. That is a tune. My daughter loved that tune.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a tune. So
That
that's
was-
your kid one.
That was my kid one.
What age are you now? I'm
34.
like, that was so not. I'm
is-
so much older than you.
Yeah, 34 now.
You look about 24, so
I
I think he said I look about 24 as well.
You look good. You look good. Look fit.
So tell me, what your then is 50. 50 Cent, we love him.
50 Cent is mad, yeah.
Now, what is your now song? What do you listen to now? Dance.
No, Luke Combs and
Oh, no.
country,
Oh, no.
American country music.
I
now.
am shocked.
Yeah, it all
Mark,
changed.
get back into the
So
studio.
this is what I mean by depth. I love them now. My dog, my fire, and my baby. Do you know what I mean? I love that stuff now. So it gets me going every morning in the shower. It's like
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What's
So,
your always and forever song?
North Side, the
Oh
great
my
shopping
God.
centre. No, that was my karaoke song as a kid. My favourite song forever.
I was not expecting that. Oh God!
What is my forever song?
Is there a song that you just go, "Oh, that brings me back to a good memory," or that reminds me of a warm feeling?
See, they're recent, so there would be the country music ones.
So it's always just country.
Yeah, I love them now. Because they're dead. Have you ever heard Restless Mind? Sam Barber, I think is his name.
I am going to say no, as
Right.
rave is my thing,
Well,
and I
I'm
don't
gonna
listen
send
to
it to you because you do seem like you'd like an in-depth conversation. So this
I
guy
do.
talks to me. This guy talks to me in his songs, so.
Okay, so that's what you hear. You hear them words, yeah.
So when I hear them, I'm like, yeah, this guy knows his stuff like that, and it makes me feel like I'm not alone. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's-
someone's listening to you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
and he shouts at me, and I scream it back at him, singing it back at him. And
Yeah,
all this.
I love it. Aaron, thank you so much for coming in. That has been an amazing experience. And I hope we get to do it again very soon. Thank you so
too. Thanks,
much.
Laura.
Just a shout out, this season of Made of More is sponsored by Empower Fitness in Carlow. Train with world-class coaches and join classes built for lifelong results. Get stronger, feel better, be empowered. Find them on Instagram at Empower Fitness Carlow. That's a wrap. Catch you in the next episode. This is Made of More.
You've been listening to Made of More with Laura O'Donoghue, proudly sponsored by Empower Fitness Carlow. Train with world-class coaches and join classes built for lifelong results. Get stronger, feel better, be empowered. Find us on Instagram at Empower Fitness Carlow.